show. Now, we'll start with the big story of the week. Poor old Chris Tarrant. He's been arrested after a fracas in a curry house. Oh, it's delicious, isn't it? Chicken fracas. I love it. Not too spicy. Now, the accusation is that Tarrant threw a spoon at another diner, and the man claims to have suffered a minor cut. Well, you know, those spoons. You know, inner city kids, they're always, you know, they got a spoon. Give us your mobile phone or I'll spoon you. It's scary stuff. Yes. The bloke who claims he was assaulted said, I wasn't drunk. Right, this is him. I wasn't drunk. I just had 4 pints of cider, an Alcopop, and a bottle of wine. Yeah. Just enough to take the edge off, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, he drinks like a lesbian. Now, the man in the restaurant, he kept shouting "Who wants to be a millionaire" catchphrases at him, right? For like about half an hour, he was doing his catchphrases. And you do feel sorry for old Chris Tarrant, because I mean, I know what it's like. You know, people come up to me. I was in the supermarket this week, and this man came up to me, and he did, this is by the by, but he did have the weirdest nose. It looked like some sort of genetic experiment gone wrong. It was always in a pink, it was very odd. It was like a festival of wart. Anyway, he comes up to me, and he goes, oh, can I ask you a question? Are you the one who presents Joseph and his Mexican dream coat? Yes, I am. But imagine like that went on. Imagine when Chris Tarrant, he must get it all the time. Do you know what I mean? Everywhere he goes, Chris, do you want to phone a friend, Chris? You want to phone? The next person you're going to hear is my mate. Piss off. Chris, is that your final answer? Chris, I said, is that your... I said, final answer, it's phone a friend. So you do think, for the £1 million, was this bloke a twat? Let's just ask this audience. Was he a twat? Yes! I think we'll go with that answer. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get some guests on. He was Joseph, and he could be my first guest. He's a celebrity. Let's get him in here. It's Jason Donovan! Thank you. Hello, sir. Welcome. Please sit down. Thank you. And I don't usually say this about my guests, but this woman is a complete bitch. Please welcome my favourite actress of all time, Joan. Sit yourselves down. How are you both?
Very well. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good.
You look fine with that champagne, and I've got wine. And what have you got?
I've got some wine as well.
Oh, of course you have.
And you owe nothing.
You could not do this in America.
What?
You could not go on a talk show and drink spirits. My God, they'd be, you know, you'd be considered to be some sort of pervert.
Really?
Really.
Oh, thank God I live here. I'm just a lush. Fans, because presumably this guy thought he was being funny to Chris Tarrant.
They always do. They always think they're funny.
No, because you must have, over the years, had people coming up to you and asking you for autographs in odd places and things like that.
Yes, I mean, one of the oddest places is when I'm in a public loo at a hotel and somebody comes and puts a bit of paper underneath while I was in there and saying, please, Miss Collins, can I have your autograph? On a bit of, actually, loo roll. So that's a bit much, I thought.
Did you sign your name in poo?
No, I said I'm busy.
What about you?
The most frustrating thing about that whole environment is I find cameras, mobile phone cameras, normal film cameras, and it's the process of trying to get the camera to click. It's not that difficult, actually, if you really analyse it, but it can take anything from 5 to 10 minutes. And you could be sitting there with your arm around someone, and it can
someone
be
you don't want to have your arm around, normally.
Yeah. But I have to say the most unusual place, other than a toilet, I have had a toilet once at Grosvenor House. There was a little bit of a worry about that person that came into that toilet, but we won't go down that route. Yeah.
While you were in it?
I think I was urinating at that time.
It's funny when you're trying to pee and people try to shake your hand.
I've started wearing gloves now when I put petrol into my pump. I mean...
I've been away from that England too long.
I think what I was trying to say... But But can I go back to the other?
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
No, go.
There was one. I was doing laps. I like to swim. I was wearing goggles. I had the cap on, and I was doing laps up and down the pool, and I was tumble turning, and I don't think you could recognise it was me, but someone decided that they could recognise it was me, decided just as I was about to do my tumble turn that they might want an autograph, a wet autograph, mind you, as I sort of looked up at them, you know.
I remember I was in Blackpool once, and I didn't know.
Were?
Yeah, I know, just
Good
the
for
once.
you.
And
Only once?
Yeah, no, seriously, only once. No, it was great though. But I went to the big pleasure beach, the big fun fair thing, and I didn't know it was opening weekend, so it was £1 a ride. It attracted quite the crowd. And, so this family, they were like obviously the least lucky family in the world. Like I was doing autographs on their arm and having to write around scabs and things. They even had a dog with 3 legs. It was just... Anyway, so Graham, can we have a photograph? So, yes. So gather them all around, holding it. And I'm like, who's got the camera? And they were going, oh, no, we don't have a camera. No, we thought you'd have a camera. Like, it was like Goofy wandering around Euro Disney. You know,
I just came back from a tour of America, and so many people have got those cell phone cameras.
Oh, yes.
But they don't know how to work them, and they bring them so close to your face that you are totally distorted, and then these pictures end up on the internet or in some horrible magazine saying, God, doesn't she look awful? And then usually if you're photographed with somebody with their arm around you and their face very close to you, this person can then say, and they often do, oh, you know, I had a relationship with her. I had a relationship with him. I mean, how do you think all these things come out? I have had, and this is a long time ago when I was doing Dynasty, people were always coming up and taking pictures of me with their arm around me. And people actually would say to their friends, well, you know, Joan and I were dating. And more. Yes, I wasn't happy about that at all.
no, that's not a reputation you want.
No, not me. No.
Now, but the weird thing about going back to the Chris Tarrant thing is, of course, the police did arrest Chris Tarrant.
They
right?
did.
Over this spoon incident.
Yeah.
There's a whole big thing about this. The Police Federation this week has claimed that officers are being forced to make ludicrous arrests in order to meet Home Office arrest targets. Now, according to the papers, a child was arrested for throwing buns at a bus. Another child was arrested for throwing a cucumber slice at another boy. A pensioner was arrested for vigorous pruning of a neighbour's overgrown bush. That's overstepping a mark, isn't it? You don't want your neighbour doing that. And my favourite, a person was arrested for being in possession of an egg. Yes.
Mom.
No, serious. This concerns one incident involving Liza Minnelli, I believe. It's clever what she's done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Throwing the face on it like that.
He's a big star in England, I understand.
Oh, and a big mate of his.
Well, I mean, you know, he's a character. David's
He is.
a big...
You have to be with a face like that. You can't be a leading man.
But you sang with him at GAY nightclub, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I do the occasional appearance down there, and I felt that might sort of be another aspect to the show that particular night. David has a wonderful way of sort of getting very nervous. He's a very secure and a very insecure person. I'm still trying to work out whether his donation to the Chinese Girls with Herpes Foundation has any foundation in it whatsoever. Most of the audience will probably know about that one. The Vaginica Semen stories. These guys know exactly what I'm talking about, yeah? The Albino Hotel, yeah?
Lost.
So am I.
They're loving it, Jason. Go.
I'm putting my petrol into the pump again. So. But look, David is a warm person, you know, and I think
Hot-blooded.
Yeah. But I think he's lost a lot of weight since
We were at the
those
wedding.
pictures.
Yes.
We saw that kiss. It wasn't a kiss. It was like sucking chrome off a Cadillac.
It was weird.
Yeah, you were there.
Yes.
I know. Didn't we all have dinner together or something? I know we were all at the wedding.
Yes.
And we were taking bets in our pew how long it would last.
Oh, it was a very odd day.
It was an odd day.
But you met David in the jungle.
Yeah.
And that show...
Yeah, well, no, I mean, this is a TV show called
not I'm a Celebrity.
I'm a Celebrity.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
Hello, I didn't know that.
which I really enjoyed. I mean, it was quite...
Did you have to eat any ants or bugs?
No, I'm quite happy to, you know, to be known as the guy that didn't eat the anus. So, despite the fact that...
I guess I didn't see this show.
Where am I going with this conversation?
I've no idea. You lost me at didn't eat anus.
Is that a pop singer?
Won Eurovision.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, what oddly binds us all is Joseph and his Mexican Dreamcoat.
Amazing. Oh, yeah.
Because obviously you were Joseph, you were Mr. Potiphar in the movie.
Yes, with Donny Osmond.
Donny Osmond?
Yeah, that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I have to say. And there was this scene where I had to run my fingers down his back, which, being an actress, I did as well as I could. And he then went on some show and said, Joan Collins really loved running her fingers up and down my back. And I thought, what? I was acting, honey. That was acting. That was not, you know, and there was sweat there, and I didn't want to get it under my fingernails. But but it was fun. I liked doing that. Did you ever see it? Did you ever see the video of it?
I didn't see the video.
Andrew Lloyd Webber produced it.
I have to say, I was slightly pissed off that I didn't get the opportunity to be in the video. Yes. I sort of felt that, you want to be honest about it, which I normally am, is that... yeah, he didn't. But Donny was an American name, obviously, so that was where they were aiming their market for.
And are you still friends with Andrew Lloyd Webber?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes, of course.
Because where were you having the dinner? Was that in Washington you were having dinner with him?
Oh, yes. He came to see the play I was doing, Andrew and Madeline, and we were all sitting. There was a whole group of us, and he went up to the loo, and he came down, and he said, I just heard this man talking to another man. I said, my God, that Liz Taylor looks great these days. What? Hello? No, not.
Actually, now, the weird thing you say about the Liz Taylor thing, because is all the Cleopatra stuff true about that you were going to do that?
When Fox were making the movie, going to make the movie, it became more and more expensive, and they decided they had to have a major, major star. I was not a major, major star. I was just a sort of starlet type under contract to Fox. And so they offered it to Elizabeth. And then she goes off and she starts doing the movie in England, and she gets very ill. And she has to go and have a tracheotomy, and they think she's going to die. My agent called me and said, stand by to get on the next plane to England. Liz is going to die, and you're going to play Cleopatra. I said, that is sick. I said, first of all, I couldn't possibly be ready to leave at the end of the day. And second of all, Elizabeth's a friend of mine, and I wouldn't, it's just too ghoulish to have to go. He said, look, honey, this is showbiz. You're under contract to Fox, so you've got to do it. If she dies, you're in. So, I was sort of praying that she wouldn't die, and she didn't.
But wasn't there a thing where some studio executive tried to...
Oh, yes, all of that. It's known as the casting couch syndrome. Actually, one of the top execs at Fox, where I was under contract, said... And I was dancing with him at a party, and he said, would you like to get the pick of the lot in terms of the scripts? And I said, yes. He said, well, I'm an attractive man. I know I'm married. He said, and I know I'm a bit older than you. I was like 22, and he was like 58 or something. Okay. And he said, you know, if you are nice to me, he said, I've got the, you know, there's a lot of movies coming up that you would be right for. And I thought, this is just terrific. And I couldn't do that. That was just not on my agenda to, you know, have to do the casting couch to get a job. So I was actually quite rude to him. I got pushed him away. I said, no, thank you, Mr. Adler. Oh, I've said his name.
We're guessing he's dead.
Yeah.
Well, talking of jobs,
yes.
There's some work news, and apparently, shock horror, who knew this? People don't like their jobs. A new survey says 2 out of 3 workers feel miserable and unfulfilled. Oh. 2 out of 3? Which one of us isn't happy? Now, what did you want to be? Did you always want to be an actress?
I had 4 things I wanted to be: an actress, a writer, a dress designer, and a detective.
Okay.
Yes.
You thought it through?
Detective, because I listened to a radio program called Dick Barton, Special Agent, which I think maybe a couple of you here might remember. And I thought that being a detective was great, and I had a detective set, and I went around with a magnifying glass and taking my family's fingerprints to see if they'd been in my room when I wasn't there. And no, but really, I was being an actress, yes, the number one.
I mean, your dad's an actor.
Yeah, my dad was an actor, and every actor that I spoke to in Australia at the time, you know, discouraged me from being an actor. I mean, 99% of actors are out of work.
Oh, yeah.
But I decided that maybe I should get into graphic art, but luckily Neighbours came along at sort of 17, and I haven't really looked back since.
But it's weird, you kind of think a lot of people would like to do kind of, you know, what the scene as glamorous, like be a pop star or be an actor,
It's
whatever.
not glamorous at all.
But this is the list of what people say they would rather do for a living, okay? Yoga teacher, charity worker, climate campaigner. How do you do that 24 hours a day? Animal welfare officer or gardener. It's
Really?
Sting, Bono and Alan Titchmarsh. Then you're happy. So what we thought was, given that being a yoga teacher is very high on that list of dream jobs, we're going to go over to a yoga class and we're going to meet a yoga teacher. Her name is Emily Collins. Hello, Emily. Hello, Emily.
Hello.
Stop showing off. Hello, it's Graham here. So now you are, how long have you been a yoga teacher?
15 years.
15 years. And do you like it?
I love it. I love
Okay,
it.
the woman behind you, I think, is hurting herself.
Get your bum a bit high,
And what's the best thing about being a yoga teacher?
well, it's everyone's favourite job. Everyone tells me constantly they want to be a yoga teacher, so it's wonderful. Now, I like to help people with their stresses and strains of their jobs that they don't like,
Girl.
really.
That woman in red is useless.
Don't tell her that. Break her heart.
Oh, you did it now. Well done. Very good.
Well done, Mandy.
So, Emily, is there anything very quiet that we can do? We're obviously dressed and things. Is there anything we can just do sitting down?
Yeah, actually, Graham, you could do a little bit of practice on your root lock, known as your Mulla Bandha.
My Mulla Bandha.
Yeah, if you just want to relax in your seat and shut your eyes, just place your hands on your belly and just take a couple of deep, slow breaths in and out through your nose. And then see if you can locate your anal sphincter muscles. And then you can see if you can lift up on your anal sphincter muscles about 5 to 10 times quite rapidly.
Are we doing this?
Yes,
The others
very
can do
good.
it, yeah.
Why are we doing this?
It can really improve your sex life, and actually for men such as you, it can actually prevent premature ejaculation as well.
I may never come again. I think I need to work on my Mulla Bandha. Sorry. Hey, listen, very quickly.
By the way,
very quickly,
that's Aboriginal for petrol pump, I think.
So, very quickly, Emily, what other can you suggest to us to do?
Well, there's one you can do with a partner. If you get up, Graham,
Okay.
yeah, and then if you take your legs out to about a leg length away from each other.
Yes.
Can you do that?
Someone
Pull
just-
your trousers up a bit.
Was that a fart?
I'm sure there was.
It wasn't me! Right,
then get
sorry,
your
do I need a partner for this?
Yeah, you need a
Okay,
partner.
Jason, come here.
Right,
So-
Jason, Jason has to go round behind you, Graham.
Right, here?
Yes.
Yeah, and then spread your legs wider, Graham.
Just loosen up. There
Jason,
we go.
keep those together. And then, Graham, I need to lean forward.
Lean forward, Graham.
So you get your hands to the ground.
I'm not your plaything.
And then so you can get your head towards
what-
the ground, Graham. You get your head down towards
My
the
head's
ground.
gonna hit the ground, woman!
And then, if you can, Jason, round the back, if you
Oh,
would try
I've
and-
come. Thank you. Very quickly, Emily, is there something that we can all do?
Yeah, would the audience like to do a move?
Would you like to do a move, audience? Okay,
We can do it.
so we stand up, yes? What do we do
Stand
then?
up. And
Stand up. Go on, stand up.
put your left leg down on the ground very strongly.
Left leg on the ground.
And your left arm up in front of your face.
Left arm, yes.
But bend the elbow, Graham, that's it.
Done it.
And then take your right leg out to the side. Like a little come dancing move, but
Yeah.
that's as much dancing as we're going to do.
Okay.
And then take your right arm out to the side.
Yes.
And then wrap your right arm around your left arm and try and get your palms together.
Sort of, yes.
Yeah. And then do the same with the right leg. Wrap it round the left leg very slowly. And try and tuck the toe into the calf.
Whoa!
then
Steady! Steady! Oh! Oh!
And then squeeze your leg and arm together. Squeeze your legs and arms together.
Beautiful!
Bend off your knees. How are they doing?
I think we've done it, Emily.
Excellent.
Well done, audience. Thank you very much, Emily.
Thank you.
See you again. Bye-bye. Oh, bless. All right. Mulabunda. Now, if yoga... All right. You only stood on one leg. It wasn't that exciting. Yay, us! There is a new way of keeping fit. It's a new exercise device that you can use while you're at your desk. This is it. Now, apparently that's an invention. It looks like a computer strapped to a running machine. But apparently, if you use it for 3 hours a day, you could lose up to 4.5 stone in a year.
3 hours a day?
Yes.
Oh, come on.
No, when you're at your desk anyway.
Oh, you're at your desk?
You see,
Well,
yes.
I don't sit at a desk.
Well, no, it's for
does your
someone.
desk?
It's for someone who works in an office.
So they
for
sit
you
on
would
this
be
machine?
pointless.
Yes. I do write. But
Oh yeah, you can do
yeah,
that.
I could do it then.
Yes. So anyway.